John Jessup from Leo Burnett. I thought I'd just grab you for a quick second just to ask,
Okay.
how do you think at the moment in the standard of work, in terms of generally in the industry, creativity, how strong is it at the moment?
I think it's very strong at the moment, and I think because you have to work harder at getting your message across. There's so many ways to get the message across now that you have to be more and more inventive to get it across. So there's a sort of a view, I think, that it wasn't as good as in the 80s or in the 70s or the 60s or whatever. But I think that I think there's some great work out there at the moment. Some really striking and really challenging sort of work, you know, for everybody. And you've still got that core of humour. You've still got that core of sort of slightly un-PC, you know, which gets everybody sort of excited. But I think the standard of work, I think there's some pretty good work out there. And long will it lasting, I think, especially in the UK, because I think there's a tradition of good creating and challenging creating. I think that everybody wants to do better than the last generation, so I think the new ones coming through are trying hard, you know.
Do you think the people coming through the next generation of creatives, are they being given the opportunity then, especially with budgets being tight up, are they still being given the chance to risk giving their ideas to the world?
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of being creative. It's not just about coming up with ideas, it's about how you execute and get those ideas across. And if the budgets are tight, then you have to find a clever way of doing it, you know, and I think that's what people are doing, you know. You go online, some of the virals, some of the very neat and clever ways that people get their thoughts through, you know, that's all part of the mix. So I don't think they're disadvantaged in any way, really. It's just new, it's just another challenge. You know, you can have a huge budget, but it's what you do with it, you know.
In terms of the new processes we've got, is there one new form of communication online, viral perhaps, that you're quite impressed with? It's a channel that you quite like to do more in?
I think the area, the ambient, I think that's the area where you're seeing the most invention and the most, if you like, what do you call it? Almost a sort of, the evolution there is becoming, people are becoming more and more daring about what they do as a kind of an event or a stunt or things like that. And that's an area which I think that, especially with budgets, you know, when you can pick a spot with where your target audience is going to be, and you can do something that's really going to surprise people, and it's going to stick in people's memory. And in a way, it's a bit like word of mouth, you know, have you seen the so-and-so? And now with YouTube and things like that, those kind of events become an event in itself, and then become a media event afterwards, so people can see it again and again, you know. A bit like the Philippines prison where all the guys did the Thriller thing, you know, stuff like that. I love all that kind of, you know, exciting live sort of stuff. You know?
I assume though, especially with family stunts, there's more channels of which that could be communicated.
Yeah.
You can put it anywhere online, YouTube.
Yeah.
Have you ever known a time that's just been so full of possibility?
Funny enough, you know, I mean, when I first started working in it, television, people were just getting to understand what you could do on television, you know, and then, you know, television going, and I think people are still doing clever things on TV and whatever, but so every time a new thing comes along, people get into that. It's always an exciting time. I don't think, you know, there'll be the next big thing. There'll be holograms next, or there'll be, you know, I don't know, space ads or whatever. So there's always the next big thing coming up, and then that sets a challenge for creatives, how they use that, how they make the best of that. Digital is the big thing now. You know, there's some great invention going on. There's some great creative ideas going into that. You know, then something else will pop up, and that'll be the next big thing.
Well, I think we'll go grab a
Yeah,
pint now. It's
I
been a
think we
long
will.
night.